Welcome to the My Travel Window Fight Edition, or at least from my eye, it looks like it ought to be a Fight Edition. But this is what my eye looks like today. It's not what it looked like a month ago. Likewise, these are what my arms look like today, but it's not what they looked like a month ago. Today, I'm going to tell you what happened, how it's affected our travel window, and where this fits. So welcome back to My Travel Window. Today's edition, instead of being called the Fight episode, should probably be called the Crisis episode. So after I explain our crisis, then I'm going to explain how we came up with our travel window, which has 4 parts. We're currently in part 3 of our 4 parts. We thought we might be totally done with our travel window altogether, or that we might be in part 4. And let's get right to it. Okay, so how did all this happen to me? We were at a family reunion. We were celebrating my mom's 92nd birthday. It had been a great time. At the end of the reunion, people were leaving, and we had a pickup game of baseball with a plastic bat and a tennis ball. Seemed innocent enough. It's innocent enough until you're running to first base, trip, and fall flat on concrete, landing on a hand that you dislocate, an arm that you break, a face that you break, and nose that gets broken in 2 places, and an eye that's seriously hurt. So all of a sudden, we went from having an open travel window where we could look years into the future and plan what we thought was going to be adventure after adventure to suddenly thinking, are we done? Are the 2 that we have on the books now, do we need to cancel? So, spoiler alert, no. We asked the doctors at each point of our 16 doctor visits since this happened, can we continue to go on our trip in November? Will we continue to be able to travel? The answer is yes, but here's what you need to expect. And so today what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you how we planned out our entire travel window and the kind of things that I think you should plan ahead for, and how this affects whether or not we're in stage 3 or stage 4. Remember how I described the travel window. The travel window is when you have enough time and money to be able to travel extensively, and it ends when you either don't want to do it anymore, or you don't have the money or the health to continue to do it. So that's your travel window. It's the opportunity time. It doesn't say you actually travel during that time, but that's the time when you're able to travel. And so we knew that we were coming up on a travel window as I was nearing retirement. So 3 years prior to retirement, we entered phase 1 of our travel window. What we did for the last 3 years of my working career is we took trips to Europe. I had enough vacation time that we could do 2 or 3 weeks at a time. And we planned multiple trips, and we tried doing both land trips and sea trips. So what we were doing was we were setting the stage. This was anticipating what our travel life was going to be like. Did we like to do cruising? Obviously, yes. Did we like to do land trips? Yes. Do we like to plan trips on our own? The answer is yes. Are we interested in going to Europe? Yes. Are we interested in going to the United States? Yes. So what we did over those 3 years was we traveled as much as we could with the money we made in that year. We didn't go into debt to travel, but we traveled as much as we possibly could in the 3 years prior to retirement, and we planned starting a year ahead of time for the day I retired. Then, the day I retired, we entered phase 2, which was the USA portion of our trip. Our goal was not just to see the world. Our goal was to also see our own country. And so, when I retired, we had a year to plan the trip. Some of you know this story. We sold our house, we sold our cars, we bought an RV, a truck and a trailer, and we toured the United States for 2 years, actually in 2 different vehicles. And in that time, we RV'd through all 48 contiguous states. And we probably would have gone a little longer, except that COVID came along during that span of time. And so our goal was, as part of our travel window, let's see America. So after 2 years, and the reason we did that early in our retirement was because it's a lot of work doing that. If there is physical driving ability, 5 years after we finished doing the RVing, I'm not sure I could physically do it, at least not with the rigs that we had. And so that's what we were planning to do early on, was see the United States. We moved back to our hometown, and we decided we were going to see as much as we could, particularly of Europe. My wife and I's ancestry is 100% European. And so our goal was to do as much of Europe and Canada as we could over the course of the next several years. So that became phase 3. So now we are 5 years into phase 3. In phase 3, we have seen something like 25 different countries. So we've done combination land and sea trips, but particularly using the sea portion, the cruise portion, to check out those places that we want to see for just a day, explore as much as we can, as many countries as we can, and then find the places that we want to go back and explore more. So that's why we've gone back to France, to Paris. That's why we've gone back to Italy. That's why we've gone back to Greece, because those are places we've discovered that we really like. Our goal was to continue to do that as long as we are physically able to do this and to plan it on our own. But there's going to come some day when that burden is going to be too great. We thought it might happen with this. We thought it might be to the point where suddenly, because of restrictions that I might have as a result of this accident, in the span of 5 seconds, we might be to stage 4, which is that stage where we still travel, but we rely on somebody else to do a lot of the planning. We do pre-planned excursions, more like a river cruise where the excursions are planned for you, or more like land trips with a gate 1 travel, something like that. So that's our plan for stage 4. Our thought was that we could go another, I'm approaching my mid-70s now, but I thought as long as we're in our 70s, we could continue to do this as we have. And we've decided now that we're going to continue on that plan. We're going to move forward with that. But beyond that, then maybe we can continue to travel. I'm not out of the woods yet with this particular accident. It turns out that my right eye has been damaged. For the next 3 months, we're going to be trying to figure out what the potential is, what the new baseline is going to be. So I will be able to travel, I'll be able to see, I'll be able to function. We look forward to continuing to see those people we've met before on travels, continue to travel, continue to cruise. We have a trip scheduled for this fall and another one for next spring. And we look forward to bringing you along with us. So, in the meantime, listen to your body. Don't do sports you're supposed to not do anymore. And until next time, safe travels.